I don't speak that much English. I have not make that much money, but I'm still here. And I'm happy and I'm blessed. And then they give me the best news that this coming December, I'm going to be a grandpa. Thank you very much. I'm super excited about it. Oh my God, I didn't know that I was so excited. I'm going to be a grandpa this coming December and I cannot wait. Okay, so I'm going to ask maybe 2 or 3 people, why are you here? What are the expectations that you have for this presentation? You read something in the agenda that you said, that could be something that I would like to know. What is the reason that you're here? Anybody? Don't fight, only one at a time. It's going to be 3 people. Yes, and your name, please, and then why are you here? Excellent. That's fair. I like it. So Tanya said that is because, you know, her friend is here. Got it. Thank you, friend. Thank you for bringing her. Tanya. Okay, what else? No, anybody else on this side? Yes. I love it. I love it. Tough situations. What can we do in those tough situations? I like it for sure. We're going to cover that. Last person. Anybody else? Why are you here? Anybody else? Go what? Yes. Interactive. Okay. So I'm going to ask you a lot of questions to you. Okay. What's your name? What is your name? Brooke. No, I know Bruce. That's not true. No. I know Bruce. Don't do that. Brooke, I got your back. I got your back. All right. So we put a little bit about COVID, right? And one of the things that I said is that I'm not here to argue or to talk to people if you believe it, if that affect you, any of that. We already passed that stage, right? If the vaccination, if it's good, I'm not here to do any of that. No fighting. I'm not giving you any update, how many people they get the virus and how the situation in the hospital in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm not doing any of that. What I'm going to do in the next hour and 20 minutes is going to give you one of the many tools that I have of the curriculum that we use at Rich Family Services that is called Unlocking Futures. And that curriculum, it's that we teach young people and then we adapt it for the parents and then for the families. And that curriculum has like 20 tools. I'm going to teach you only one, but in my personal, in my life, I think that is one of the most powerful tools. And that tool is going to be related with the COVID because I think that a lot of people will struggle with that. I think that in my personal life, the COVID situation was one of the roughest time in my entire life, However, the same tool, I use it for anything related with my work. And that tool, I've been using it for the last 7 years that I was hired to start Rich Family Services. We have 7 years anniversary. Yesterday, I shared about 7 years of greatness, and I shared with people all the bumps that we have in the last 7 years. And it wasn't easy when Sherry hired me 7 years ago, and she did not tell me what it's going to take to be the executive director. And I struggled, but I use this tool that I'm going to teach you in a few minutes. Also, I use the same tool in my marriage. I'm extremely happy and in love. Everybody help me with that, all right? When I said in love, everybody went, okay, ready? So, because he's recording it, so my wife is watching this. I'm 12 years married and I'm really happy and in love. This is for you, baby. Thank you very much. Also, I use this tool in my finances. You know, sometimes all of us we struggle with that up and down, you know, so I use the same tool. Also, in my health, I consider myself pretty healthy. However, I struggled a couple years ago with different situations and then other reasons. So what I'm going to teach today, I use it for all of that. My marriage, my work, relationships, everything. But also I use it the most during starting in March 2020. So I'm going to share with you how I established life in 2020, which I know some of you are going to feel related, but this is what happened to me in March 2020. how did COVID impact my life? Okay, well, the first thing is that my social life suspended. I was telling you guys that I love to dance. You can see always in concerts with my wife, with my family. I love to go to Las Vegas, always in casinos. I'm a big soccer fan, always I'm in stadiums. And then suddenly that ended. Either I wanted or no, everything was closed, right? So I started struggling with this. That is my first thing that I struggle a lot. And then my wife stopped working. And at that time I was having 10 years married and I said, oh my God, we are in a honeymoon we love until now we started spending all day long. The honeymoon got to the next level, right? And I love this picture, right? That was definitely like, I love you, I protect you, but don't talk to me, right? How many of you know what I'm talking about? I'm the only one. Okay, thank you. Like everybody struggled because suddenly everybody was in the house. Now, not only my wife, she stopped working completely, but my mom at that time was 83 years old. So right now it's 85. So we talked to the siblings and we said, hey, mom cannot be by herself. You know, no groceries, she cannot drive. What are we gonna do? So we talked between the 4 siblings, we're 7, but we talked 3 live in Mexico, 4 in Phoenix. And we said, she has to go in somebody's house. So we talked, mom decided that she will go with me. I feel blessed and honored. My siblings said, is the best place for her? She preferred her favorite son, of course. They don't know that, don't tell them that. But that's my mom and that's my little baby. And what's phenomenal, I mean, I really enjoyed to be with my mom for almost 2 years. It's one of the biggest blessings. However, a lot of things change. My house, I need to clean it because I don't do it all the time. I have 3 little kids. Jimenez 9, Jair is 8, and little Sulem is 3. So you can imagine, right? How many of you have 5 or younger kids? All right, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? All the toys on the floor. Well, now grandma is in the house. So now we cannot have toys. They cannot make noise. They need to go to bed early. So it was a lot of changes. I was happy, Mom, I was happy. But to tell you the truth, I struggled with some changes that I was not used to. And then my wife did not work. And then my 2 kids, they stopped going to the school. And then life gave me a lesson. I used to say it in the past that to be a teacher, come on, babe, so easy. So easy, I used to say that. After March, hey, all my love and respect to the teacher is so difficult. I used to be not only the executive director and the dad and the husband, but I become in one day a teacher and a principal. I want to expel my kids from the house. I couldn't. They were 8 and 9. Like, what I'm gonna do that? But that was really struggle because I think that nobody was ready for that. I think that the school system was not ready for them. Definitely the families, we were not ready for that. A lot of people, we were not ready for this situation. So we did, I love this one because we start just doing activities because like, what are we gonna do? So we decided to do a contest of a beauty salon. So this is my son. I did that in his hair, he was happy because we didn't know what else we can do. So we did a lot of camping in the backyard of my house. And then we play a lot of board games and puzzles, but get to the point that after 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, they get bored of this. I thought that this is fun, but after a few months, that was not fun anymore, right? So we have to be creative. And what I did, one of the things that we did is like, well, why did we break a wall? Let's have fun with that. Why not? We don't have nothing to do. Get a hammer, boom. My wife is like, what are you doing? Like, hey, we have a lot of time in the house. So we're gonna just expand. So what we did, we moved a wall from here and just be a little bit too much. But without no construction experience, nothing. Just very happy family with 3 hammers, and that's it. And this is what happened. Everything was good until I faced cables. And like, oh, now what? I couldn't imagine myself to start like, no, this is no. So I surrender. I call my friend and he finished this beautiful project. But this is what we do. But after that, things get really crazy. Now, like, what are we gonna do? So my daughter today is 3, and that time she was 1. And I don't know about you guys. Let me tell you how Mexican people we think. This is really weird. That's my grandma thing. She said to my mom and my mom to us that when the baby, sometimes they don't have, the hair completely, they have some spots. How many of you know what I'm talking about? Right? So that you have some spots and that's normal. But they said that if you shave the baby, it's going to come. You guys know what I'm talking about? And then some more crazy families, they said, and if you put tomato, and I'm like, okay, and hamburger and lettuce, and no, only tomato, and it's gonna grow so beautiful. And I'm like, all right. So my wife told me, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna shave little Sulema. And I said, you're crazy. No, why are you gonna do that? She goes, we're in pandemic. Nothing is gonna happen. We don't go nowhere. You say that this is gonna end in 3 months, and we have 8 months here. All the burdens, so nothing is gonna happen. And they go, zip, my little baby. So my son, at that time, he was 4 years old. And he said, I'll support my little sister. I'm like, all right, no one crazy, it's gonna be 2. I'm like, okay, go ahead, are you sure? Yeah, I wanna do it, 4 years old. So he grabbed it and he just shaved himself, we helped him. And then all that I was okay, it makes sense. 1 year old, 4 years old. My wife is not 1 and 4, and she said, you know what, I had a bucket list. I'm like, okay, what are you gonna do? Yes. And then she's like, I'm gonna do it too. And I said, why? She goes, because I don't have nothing else to do. And I said, oh, I'm busy, I run. This happened, guys. And right now, look at my face, I'm smiling, I'm laughing. You guys are laughing. In that moment, it was not fun. And especially when my wife has the little machine, like, no, you guys are beautiful, I'm not. You guys are gonna look okay, I'm not. So I did not was part of that project. But inside of that, I think that this is for everybody. If you see the screen, you're gonna see how all of us, a lot of us, we started struggling with fear, with anxiety, with depression. I've been working in the social work for the last 27 years. I got so many tools. And in that moment, any of that work, I feel like this is gonna be really rough. So what I'm gonna do, I said I have to do something. And I remember that dealing with that, plus that I faced being the executive director at Rich Family Services. In that moment, I got 5 years, as that we started the agency, and we struggled in the agency. And really quick, this is Sherry Candelaria, Vice President of the board. This is David Jefferson. He is the president of the board. These 2 guys hired me and they trust me that I'm gonna run the agency. They never told me about the pandemic. Never. Like, oh, you're gonna be fantastic executive director. Well, yeah, but now I need to deal with that. So immediately we close services. That's what we do for a living. But at the same time is when more time, that is the time that people, they need more of our services. How many of you agree with me? So we have to do many things. We suspend all the groups that we have. We start having that fear that our employees, they start asking me, hey, do I have a job? Did that secure my job? What is going to happen? And not only I need to give the answers to my team, but that was the fear that I have to myself. I asked that question straight to David. I said, let me know, do I secure my job? What's going on? This is too long. What is going to happen? So all that started affecting me. By the way, the solution of that was the strong financial moment that we have in the company. We did not let go any of the employees. We did not reduce any hour. We did not reduce any salary. All of us, we send home and we keep our job, which I think that is one of the biggest blessings. So I'm very grateful of that. I have to be responsible for the finances and the budget, but we didn't do services. So with all that, plus my mom, plus my wife, plus everything that is going on and the news and all that, I'm telling you guys, March 2020 to the end of that year was one of the toughest moments in my personal life. I need to do something big. So what I decided to do is how we're gonna do that. And of course, everybody knows that we increase all the challenges. So we create Zooms, we start doing services as soon as possible. But really what we do is to how we're gonna handle this. And this is what I did. So we're gonna now, we're going to show you one of the distinction and one of the tools that I've been practicing. I told you in my marriage, in my finances, and everywhere that I do, I really like to do this. So we're gonna stay with me for 15 minutes, and maybe the first 10, maybe you're gonna be a little bit, I don't understand, what are you talking about? And it's fine. If you are confused, that means that you are in the conversation, all right? So I'm gonna put a circle right here. Let's see how I do my circle. Are you recording my circle? How's that? No bad, huh? No bad, I've been practicing. It's good. So let's pretend that this is the knowledge, everything, something that you know. All right, so we're gonna think about something that you know. So let's put a topic right now, and we're gonna interact, not with Brooke, but with her neighbor. And I'm gonna ask you, what will be, what will be a topic that you think that a lot of the people in this room, they know about it? Give me 1 second. For example, I know a lot about coaching young people. I know a lot about soccer. You know, I'm super excited about the World Cup, Qatar, November. Did everybody know about it? Thank you. Who do you go for, Brandon? Yeah, they won't do good. They won't do good. I'm telling you that. I saw the group, Brandon. I mean, the group is tough for USA. Don't ask me about Mexico. We're going to get worse. Okay, so I'm excited about soccer, and I know a lot about soccer. I know a lot about projects. I'm breaking walls. Not anymore. So, but I want to talk to you about things that we know, all of us. What will be a topic? Tell me what will be a topic that you think that the majority of the people here will know. Okay, I like it. So helping families. I'm supposed to write, but I'm not, first of all, because I cannot go back and forth. I want that you imagine that I'm writing what you said. Does that make sense? And also my spelling, not that good. Okay, so helping families. Tell me something that you know about helping families. Don't give me a speech, give me only 2 or 3 words. Anything that you know about helping families. Anybody? Just raise your hand because I go like, what? Listening, important. Okay, they go ahead and help themselves, yes. You need to meet them where they are. I really like that. It's about choices. Absolutely, I like that one, yes. Establish trust. Absolutely important if we want to help families. Agree. Empathy. Compassion. Anybody else? Love. Absolutely. If we serve families, I believe that we need to love. So let's pretend that we put a lot of things here about helping families. Okay. Now, this is the part that is going to be very interesting. Okay. So if we talk about percentage, listen to the question. If we talk about percentage, I'm going to ask you, this is 100%. This is 100%. I want to ask you, what is the percentage that you think that we know about helping families? Not in US, not in Oklahoma, not in Phoenix. I'm talking about the entire world. And I'm not talking about only building trust. I'm talking about the entire topic. So if I ask you, what percentage do you know about helping families in the entire world, what percentage would you say? Raise your hand and give me a number. 1%. Okay, he said 1%. Anybody else? 15%, 50 or 15? 15 is 1.5? I'm learning the numbers. 15. Anybody else? Anybody else? Go once, go twice, sold. Okay, so you say 15, you said 1. Okay, so let me talk to you. So 15 is gonna be, if we do here, 25 is gonna be maybe around here, right? So you think that will be 15% of everything about helping families. So the question is, so in those 15%, you know about how in Mexico they help families. In other countries like China, like Ecuador, like Salvador, Argentina, France, Peru. We're talking about what kind of services to help families. What kind of programs do they have? We're talking about the whole enchilada, the whole thing. Do you think that will be 50% what you know? So now you're like, I'll hold it. I just say 15 because you look at me, but So what percentage will you say? Will you be bigger or lower? Lower, right? So what percentage would you say? Probably 1, right? So does everybody agree that will be like a very small percentage? What you know, very good low percentage. I don't know what is the answer, but I'm gonna play that is 1. Now, we're not talking, I'm gonna switch a little bit, and we're not talking about helping families. We're gonna talk about everything that you know about all the topics in the entire world. What percentage that will be? She's like, oh, like a 0.000.1. So, okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna play that is 1%. I think that 1 is too big. I think that 1 is too big. But I'm gonna play with 1. So, and of course, 1 is probably right here, but just I want that you guys see it. So I'm gonna put a little bit here. Okay. So this is what I know that I know. You are the best. Thank you so much. I know that I know. Okay. This is only 1% about everything. So I'm going to give you an example. I know. No, before that, let me go back. When you want to know things that you know, when that happened, in the past, in the present, or in the future, anybody? When you want to see things that you know, you need to see that in the past, in the present, or in the future. In the past, agree. So this is how that works. Please ask me 1 + 1. So she asked me in the present, what is 1 + 1? So I have to go to my past. And I need to go back around 5 years old or 4 years old. And I said, 1 + 1 is 2. And I go back to my present and I say 2. Raise your hand if this makes sense to you. It's too fast, right? It's just like that. First time that I came to USA, okay, in 1990, I have to go to the past to see my record, and I tell you the answer. Last time that my soccer team was champion, 2 years ago, in 2020, I have to go in the past. So everything that we know has to be in the past. Does that make sense? All right. So in order to be in the past, that means that I know what happened in the past. So that's why I put the letters I know. Now, the second part is I know that I know. So I'm going to give you example of the things that I know that I know. I know that this is Oklahoma City. I know that I know that. Okay. I'm going to give you one more and I'm going to ask you that 5 of you give me an example of I know. I know that this is a yellow color. And I know that I'm the executive director at Reach. It's certain things that I know that I know. Somebody give me an example, please. Raise your hand. Yes. I know that I know how to drive a car. That's valid. Yes, sir. That's for sure. Somebody else? Brooke? That's right. I know that I'm from New York. Anybody decide? That's absolutely true. I know that I'm ready to go home. And I know that she will stay another 45 minutes because okay, I got it. And you're gonna see like, okay, now, any questions so far? Now, what's your name, sir? Anthony. So Anthony, I'm gonna have a question for you. This percentage, we say that is 1%. Everybody's agreed that is 0, 0, 0, but we're gonna play that is 1. Okay, 1% is I know that I know. Anthony, what will be the rest of this? If we have 1, we have 99. What will be the things that what? That is correct. So what will be the formula? The same formula that I have. What formula will be here? Very good. You said IDK? Absolutely. IDK. But it's things that I don't know. But in order that you don't know, you need to go to the past. That means that what? That is correct. So Anthony said, I don't know, but you need to know that you don't know something. Are you in agreement with me, Brittany? Yes. So I know that I don't know. But you need to know that. I know that I don't know. Does that make sense, Tony? Tony's managed the camera, the sounds. Everybody acknowledge Tony for his job. Thank you so much, Tony. So I know that I don't know. So I'm gonna give you an example, and I'm gonna ask some people that you give me an example. I know, because I need to know it, I need to go in my past. I know that I don't know how to speak Chinese. All right, I need somebody hands. Brittany? Very good. Somebody else? Thank you, Brittany. No, that you don't know what? Yeah, that you don't know Russian. I know that I don't know how to speak Russian. And decide somebody else that is not Anthony. Thank you, Anthony. I was kidding. I know that. Okay, you don't know that, but you need to know that. Excellent. Give me one example. Okay, all right. Give me an example. I know. Anything. That's right. I don't know these people, right? I know that I don't know what is your last name. I don't know what is your last name, but I need to know that. Raise your hand if this so far makes sense. Now, this is gonna be really cool now. What is bigger? I know that I know, or I know that I don't know? What do you think that is bigger? The things that you know, the things that you don't know. So the things that we don't know should be bigger, right? So what percentage? Somebody tell me. Okay, so she said 99. Now, if I put the 99 here, that means that I know, and I know that I don't know. Both of them I know. That means that you're saying that you know everything in life. That means that you know everything. Now the question is, raise your hand if you know everything in life. Now raise your hand if you know people that they think that they know everything in life. Say hello to them. Okay. Yes. So the thing is that could it be 99%, because that means that we know everything. But we say that it's a little bit bigger than this one. Anybody just give me a percentage just to put it. I don't know what is the percentage. Anybody give me a percentage? 20%. Okay. I'm going to put 19 just that it makes sense in my numbers. 19%. Okay. So we have 19 and 1. So that means that we have left how? What do we have left? You're so good, my friend. Thank you very much. 80%. So we have I know that I know that I don't know, and we cover 20%. Everybody knows that it's smaller than that. I got it. We're just playing with numbers. But it's 80% of something else. What that will be? Raise your hand if you think like, okay, give me 1 second. Tell me your name. Danielle? Okay, Danielle, what will be the rest? That is correct. That is perfectly correct. You saved me like 15 minutes of my presentation. Thank you very much. Yes, so I don't know that I don't know. DK means that I don't know that I don't know. Now, this is the fun part about it. The formula is correct. The percentage is correct. Now we're going to do a little demonstration. I need somebody, I'm not asking to come in front, you can do it in your place, that demonstrate something about I know that I know. I need somebody to demonstrate that I know that I know. Anybody? I'll do it first. I know that I know how to jump. Whoop. Evidence. I just demonstrated. Somebody demonstrate anything that you know. Yes. Thank you for participating. Otherwise, I'll be the only one. That's it. Like somebody help me. Come on, guys. And then you clap, and then you demonstrate. You need to have the evidence of that. Can you see that? Excellent. One more person. Give me the evidence of something. Yes. ¿Cómo estás? Yo soy muy bien. ¿Y tú? So tell me the formula. I know that I know. And then what? What language is that? And then show me the evidence. That is correct. And then she showed me the evidence. She couldn't say, I know that I know how to speak Spanish. Taka, taka, buki, buki, taka, taka. No, because that's not the evidence. That's not Spanish. I know Spanish. So, but she said, ¿Cómo estás? Is the evidence. And this percentage, we need to have the evidence of something. Now, the second part, I know that I don't know. So let's demonstrate that. I know that I don't know what is 20 plus 100 times 77. Equal? Look at my face. That's the evidence that I don't know. Raise your hand if this makes sense to you. You need to have the evidence in both. However, here, you don't need to have no evidence. So who wants to demonstrate the last one? You don't need to have no evidence. Who wants to give an example of that? Let me think, somebody else. Go once, go twice. Miss Nicole, tell me the formula and then demonstrate it. And she doesn't do anything because she doesn't know. Because I don't know, thank you, Nicole, I don't know that I don't know has no evidence, all right? Would you stay with that? All right, so now, this space of 80% is what we call possibility. Oh, 2S. I got it. Hey. Possibility. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm the executive director. I run an agency and I don't know how to spell possibility. I love it. Okay, possibility. So everything that is inside of this is a possibility. Possibility of what, Anthony? Possibility of everything. And the fun thing about that is that you don't need no evidence. So now, every possibility is for everyone. I'm not writing it up. It's going to take for a while, but I have it in my PowerPoint. It's for everyone at any time, anywhere. All of us, we have access to this as soon as we know that exists. So I have a question for Mary. Mary, when did I meet you? When did I meet you? Half hour ago. Did I exist yesterday? Yes. Hopefully I'm 50 years old, Mary. Mary, yes. That is correct. Not for you. But I exist, but not for you. So that means that something that is not, doesn't exist for you doesn't mean that doesn't exist. I'm going to repeat that. Something that doesn't exist for you doesn't mean that doesn't exist. How many of you are in agreement with that statement? It's a lot of things that already exist. Alberto is your name, right? I just met him in the elevator, I think, or in the lobby. Oh yeah, don't say the leftover. I bought it for you. Alberto, they're recording this. I pizza for you without knowing you. I got it. I remember. All right. In that moment, I did not know Alberto. Alberto already exists. Alberto already exists. So it's a lot of things that already exist that I have access to that, because the only way that you can achieve something in life is if you believe that exists. Does that make sense? So now, let's go back to one of the slides, and let me tell you a little bit about that. Do you guys remember this slide? So now that I know about don't know, now let me tell you about Rich Family Services. When I started, I used to work in an agency, mentoring, and I worked there for 10 years. And in that moment, I said that that's the best job in my life. We helped teenagers that they were involved in gangs and drugs. And I did 10 years. And after 10 years, I started working in that agency. And I said, oh my God, I will never make the salary that I'm making today. I know that this is gonna be the biggest salary in my life because I live only in the 1%. And I said, I know that I don't know how I'm gonna get a job because I operate only inside of the 20%, the things that I know that I don't know. And this caused me stress, frustration, anxiety, and all that. I start saying that it's 80% of the things that I don't know. And I ask myself, will it be possible that one day, I will have another job that fulfills me in my heart, that I can make maybe more money than here, that I really impact the life of the young people. Rich Family Services already exist, not for me, but exist in the realm of possibility. Somebody raise your hand if this makes sense. The only thing that I have to do is that I have to believe that I have access to that. And then after that happened, 1 year later, Miss Sherry just called me without knowing me. She did not know me. She just had my resume. And she goes, "Tavos Estrella?" And I said, "Yep." She goes, "Hey, I want to start a nonprofit family-run agency. Do you want to be part of that?" I just look at my wife and I say, DK. It's possible. Now, today, we have 7 years. And I'm very proud that we have 7 board of directors. We have, how many employees? 15? 15, thank you, Nicole. 15 employees in our team. We're serving 50 families, okay? Now, the question is that possible that in 3 years, when we complete our 10th anniversary, is that possible that we have over 30 employees in our agency? It is possible. And because exists, I have access to that. If right now I tell David, no, that's not possible, I will never have access to that. And I can go on with different ideas. I'm divorced, and I have a really ugly divorce many years ago. After I get divorced, I said I would never get married again, ever in my life, because all the women, they're crazy, they're cuckoo, and I don't want to deal with that. Because I operated the things that I know. I know that all the females are crazy, is what I said. I live only in the 1%. And I said, and I know that I don't know how to handle a relationship. I continue operating here, but I did not give myself the opportunity of possibility. Until I say to myself, I don't know who she is, but maybe we'll be there, a Latina, beautiful, that she dance salsa, bachata, merengue, that she would love my 2 kids like they were hers, and then Lupe show up in my life. But she already exists. And I said, I have to access to that. It's a lot of people, guys, that they think that they don't have access to many things. People, they surround it and they said, I will never want to be able to buy a house. I will never be able to run out of my finances. I will never be able to have a healthy relationship with somebody that I love. Always, I know that always I'm going to deal with this diagnosis and mental health. Is it possible that one day you embrace the diagnosis, but you live without depending on that? Is that possible? It is. We have a youth retreat 2 months ago, the first youth retreat. Raise your hand if you went to that retreat, Young People in Reach. 1, 2, 3, and even a staff member. All these people, we went to the mountain and we learned about that. And our young people, they said, I know that I need medication to operate. I need certain things to function. Today, they know that they don't need that they are in control of their actions. I'm not saying about a psychologist or therapist or any that are very respectful to that, but also young people, they need more than that. They need to start just believing in themselves. How many of you agree with that? They just need to believe in themselves. So I can go with any of the situation, my finances and that. So in March 2020, it was just crazy for me. That was too much. I'll just tell you a little bit about how it happened in my life. And DK was the access for me not to really get crazy. DK moved me forward the same way that I've been using that in other areas of my life. I just said, is that possible that one day this COVID-19 is going to be controlled? It is possible. I don't know when. Is that possible that maybe it's gonna be a vaccine that people they believe, other people they don't believe, but we're gonna be safer, is what I said. Exists for me, maybe not for you, that exists for me. Maybe I said, maybe after they invite me to do the National Federation last year, virtual, did somebody participate in one of my workshops? Thank you. I remember you. So I was speaking, I was looking at the camera and like, that was different. But I work at DK, and I said, is that possible that maybe we're gonna be in person? I didn't know that was Oklahoma, but it already exists in the 80%. So it's a lot of things. They mentioned already that it's Chicago. And also they already mentioned that they're going to increase the price, that is the cost and all that. We're talking about that yesterday. And now it's going to be look like it's going to be in Chicago. If I said, well, I know that it's going to be very expensive. Oh, I know that I don't know if David is going to give me permission. Oh, I know that I don't know that we're going to get the money. And if I continue living in this percentage, I don't have access to that. So I decide that I'm going to be here. And I decided that probably we're going to be not 16, but we're going to be 20 people representing the state of Arizona and Rich Family Services, 20 people in Chicago, Illinois next year. That is possible. And if you don't believe me, raise your hand if you're going to be there. Aha, they see that you're going to be there too. See, because exists for you. Now, if she said, or Mary said, no, it's difficult. Is no way that Mary has access to that because it doesn't exist for her. And we don't need no evidence. We don't need no evidence. I got a relationship. I have no relationship with my father for many, many years. He was alcoholic all my childhood and my young years. And then when I learned this, I said, is that possible that I can do forgiveness to my dad and he do forgiveness to me? And is that possible that we can love each other again? I believe that I didn't have no evidence that will happen. And that was very uncomfortable, but I was able to ask for forgiveness because I made a story about my daddy and I said the story is that he didn't love me. He does love me a lot, but he was just too busy drinking. But that doesn't mean that he didn't love me. I make a story about him. But what I see in the possibility is that really I want to have a relationship with him. So I put it right there. And then later on, we did it. We have a great relationship. And 3 years ago, he passed away. But he passed away having me, the healing in my heart that we have a great relationship. If I wouldn't believe in DK, I wouldn't have access to that. Does this make sense to you? Any question or any comment so far?
For with Tabo for the parenting classes, I'm learning like everybody has a choice with belief. Everybody has with getting a relationship with our family. We can believe in everything. The only what we need is still keeping going. And sometimes it's hard for us to not believe in ourselves. Now I'm working with the relationship with my family. I never thought in my life like I get to be a manager in my job. Now I'm a manager. I have 3 jobs. Now I have I wanna make him play piano and learning singing class voice. Now I'm learning right now. And then when the Tabo talking about the conference, I'm not really speak very English, but I'll try it. I come in here and now I'm here. So everybody, we can choose. Everybody, he can do that. If I can do that, everybody can do that.
See, they don't know. I didn't know that she will take the microphone to speak. I didn't have no idea. Did I know that you will share? I didn't know anything that she would share. But everything that she said exists for her. She said, I can have a healthy relationship. I don't need to start planning my divorce. And now she's working towards to that. The only way that Elizabeth has access is if that is here. Is the only way. Now, her English said, she got access to that. And she said, I'm gonna be in Oklahoma. When she told me that, I talked to Nicole and Veronica and I said, Elizabeth wants to go to Oklahoma, but I know that I don't think that is possible because she got 3 jobs. And if she doesn't work, how she's gonna pay the bills? I continue operating here. But she saw herself here. And now she's in Oklahoma in a national conference. Thank you for being here, Elizabeth. Alberto. I love it. Say it, say it. That's right. If you believe that it's here, only if you put it here. Alberto, thank you for your comment. You need to move from here to here. Everybody acknowledge him, please. That's the only way that you're gonna achieve things is that if you believe that exists. That's the only way. That's the only way. How much time I have? I don't know what time I finished. 2:46. I have 35 minutes. Okay. Can you time me? 35 minutes. Got it. Yes. That's a good one. I think that's a great question. Never asked me that question, and I've been doing conference for many years. I love that question. Let me tell you, without knowing the distinction of DK, I think that for many years, I don't know when is the answer, but always I believe in myself. Always I'm being so cuckoo that, I said I'm gonna be a soccer professional player. I did not do that, but I coach. So that was my top. But since I was little, always I said, oh, I want to do this and I want to do that. And in my first slide, I said, the American dream, and I'm going to do this. Always I said that. Now, 15 years ago, I learned this. And then I learned it with very specific instruction because this is the distinction number 4 out of 20. The number 5 connect with this one. And the number 6 connect with the 5 and the 4. And the number 7 connect with the 6, the 5, and the 4. And that's why Elizabeth has been in my parenting class for the last 3 or 4 years, and she continued doing. And that's why sometimes she is working, she's cooking, and she put the phone. And she is at the parenting class because she doesn't want to miss, because all the distinctions are follow up. That's why I talked to Sherry and David. I said, this curriculum is going to make a difference in people's life. I know that. So I think that the 50 years ago is when I said, I'm going to do it. And then I started applying in my life. My little kids, 8 years old and 7 years old, they know this one. He knows that. He said, I know that I can behave here, but he said, inside of the possibility, I can not be in trouble today. I can have a fantastic day. Exists. Not, I had a really bad news. I'm going to get back to you. Give me 1 second. Inside of the possibility is great things, but not everything is great because exist. So it's possible that my 3-year-old daughter will be a doctor. She wants to be I know that exists, but also she can be a dropout high school. Also, she can be pregnant at 14, 15, or 16. I don't want that, but it's possible. Exists. But in order for her to believe that exists, now she needs to decide what action is going to take. Because depend on us. Not because exists, you have access. Yes, you have access as soon as you move forward to that direction. Raise your hand if this makes sense. I know that exists for Tavo. moving from executive director to CEO and president of the agency. I know that exists. I don't know when it's gonna happen, but it's gonna happen, sir. Already exists, I know that. So the thing is, when you believe that exists, now I have to do something to demonstrate Sherry, David, and the rest of my board that I'm doing a good job. Because even though it exists, if I don't do my job, I'm not achieving that. Because also exists that I get fired if I don't do my job. It's already exists here. Does that make sense? I'm sorry, I just love this one too much. Yes. Yes. A lot of people. Yeah. When I talk to my, what is your first name? I forget. Oh, when I talk to my kids and they said, oh my God, I'm gonna fail the test. I know that I have a test, but I'm so nervous I'm gonna fail. I don't say nothing anymore. I don't say, come on, daughter, we need to talk. I just say, DK. That's true. It is possible. Yes. Okay. I need to study. I need to do this. I need to do that. So as soon as we believe the possible, we can make a difference. I saw another 3 hands, but I stay with her. Yes. Your name, please? Kenisha. Yes.
How long would it take for someone to grasp that concept in their life versus consistent trauma, consistent letdowns, consistent feeling overwhelmed and hopeless, right? So I don't think there's a but I think it kind of took off what Cole said, and Mr. I think about it as a man is. So like when I grew up with my family, I oftentimes say right on the mirror, right? So when you say it every day, it's might not be the first time, might not be the second time, but put that in there and start.
Absolutely. And let me just add a little bit more. I think that what Hope said is exactly because you have faith. You can, whatever you want to call, everybody call differently. But what I was saying is you can grasp it immediately. You can understand it immediately. The key is to practice it, to believe it and then put it alive. See, raise your hand if this was simple. If you grasp it, raise your hand if that makes sense to you. See the hands? Now, that doesn't make no difference for them unless they get out of here and they said, it's time for me to become a homeowner. It's time for me to become the owner of my business. When they need to put it in practice, understand something doesn't make no difference. Does that make sense? Thank you so much. Anybody else? Any comment or question? I'm gonna go here and then here and then. Yeah. Oh, Cameron, I have 29 minutes. Okay, I need that you give me 20 and 10 left. Got it? Cameron, one of our youth in the program. How long you been with us, Cameron? 5 years. From when he was 12 or 13, I'm gonna go back with you. Fighting, how often did you fight in the school? Every day means? You mean daily? A lot of fighting. A lot of fighting. Maybe Cameron did not know where he was in this equation. Maybe he didn't. But his mom did. His mom started working at Rich Family Services, and because we're a family-run agency, she decided to put her son in the program. Nicole knows the concept. Nicole knows, I know that he fights a lot. I know that he's in trouble. I know that he needs that. I know that, he knows that. But when Nicole learned all this and put it in existence, now depend of Cameron. Today, Cameron had a job. He learned how to drive. He has his car. He's driving, and he's one of the leaders of my agency. Somebody acknowledge Cameron, please. All right. Yes.
We think we're at the head. We really don't.
That is excellent. And I'm gonna give you a really example. Again, practice is gonna be the key. But it's a lot of things that we know and a lot of things that we know about. I know about pilot a plane. I know about it. I know that they have a really nice uniform and they have a lot of buttons in the top and a lot of buttons. Put me in a plane and let's see what happened. I know about it, but I don't know how to pilot a plane. So it's gonna be a lot of times that I'm gonna say, oh, I know this. You need to just self-conscious and ask yourself, really, do you know that? And then you're gonna realize that you know only one little percentage and you're gonna be able to leave open the rest of the conversations. But you need to really say, it's something else because sometimes you don't know what is that. I told my family, after the COVID-19, we're gonna be fine. I'm gonna be in a national conference presenting and we're gonna hug people again and I'm gonna dance and I'm gonna go Las Vegas. And people ask me, how you gonna get there? Remember, no evidence. Remember, I told you, no evidence. I didn't know how. I didn't know how. I don't know how I'm gonna open a second office and third office. I don't know how we're gonna expand to different counties in the agency. I don't have the evidence, but already exists. I just need to walk towards to that goal. Does that make sense? Tony? Yeah. And the thing is that a lot of people, when you say that you know something, what chances do you have to expand and to learn? You already know that. So if you know everything, you don't have no chances. I've been very successful in the agency that I run. 7 years. You know how much I know? 1%. That's what I know. And this is another 2%. So really, I know only 3%. It's other things that I don't know. You know how many notes I have for this conference? How many new programs we're gonna implement? Because we didn't know that it exists. So now, I have the pleasure to introduce one of our participants that she went to the youth retreat only 2 months ago. And in that moment, she didn't know about the national conference, but she showed an amazing level of leadership. So her name is Gabriela Torres. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Who's leaving? Oh. Okay, we're here. Gabriela Torres is one of our young people, and she raised her hand and she said, I can share my story. And I said, all right, I will DK. I didn't know that she was ready to do that. So it's an honor for me to introduce one of our youth. Everybody, please welcome Gabby.
Hi, sorry. Can you hear me? Okay. Sorry, I'm a little nervous right now, but hi, my name is Gabriela. I am 16 years old and I'm from Phoenix, Arizona. Most of my life, I lived with my mom and my dad, he was not in the picture. Growing up with my mom, she would always tell me to go to my room. And from there, I got a little bit anxious. I said, well, what is she doing? Why does she keep sending me to my room? Until I went into a room one time. And when I opened the door, I saw that she was doing drugs. From there, the system has placed me into a group home where I met a lot of girls. They're really nice to me and I had a really good time with them. But the staff there, they didn't like us at all. Every time we asked them for questions or every time we wanted something, they'd always dismiss us and they wouldn't listen to what we had to say. At that moment, I realized that I had happy moments, but I did not have a happy life. From there, the system has brought me into well, took me with my uncle. And with my uncle, my challenges, they did not stop there. From there, I faced self-harm. I faced eating disordered. I've also had increased depression and anxiety. And from there, I thought everything was over. I had nothing left to live for. But then I heard of Reach Family Services. From there, someone has told me that all the possibilities that could happen, that all of the good things that I could do, or of all the fun adventures that I've never had before. It sounded too good to be true, right? You know, going over there to Six Flags, going to Oklahoma, going to different states, going to meet all these new peoples, and being a different person than the mindset that I have now. Too good to be true, right? But then something told me, take the chance. And so I did. That's when I met Katie, my mentor. Katie has taught me so many things. Katie has taught me that taking over my emotions and learning how to control them is what I can do now. Katie has taught me that whatever anyone else has said, it's not mine. It's not my emotion. It's not something that I can just, it's my fault. It's not my fault. I can focus on myself and they can focus on themselves. She is my lifesaver. And that's why I believe in DKDK. DKDK is DKDK is a powerful tool. As you saw from the demonstration here by Tabo, he did a wonderful job at explaining it. DKDK, just 2 months ago, I didn't know that I would be here in Oklahoma. 2 months ago, before the whole services and everything, I didn't know that I would be here in Oklahoma in front of everyone. I didn't know I would have my first plane ride from Phoenix, Arizona to here. Most exciting thing ever. Oh my God. Almost cried. But that was okay. You made it safe. But DKDK has taught me so many things. And from now, I know what I know. I know that one day I will graduate from high school. I know that I will someday be in the military. I know that one day I will graduate high school and go to college. Isn't that crazy? Because of DKDK, I know that there's a possibility. I know that one day I will make it. And I know that one day I'll be just like Katie and I'll mentor someone else. I want to thank you to Reach Family Services and thank you to Tavo for teaching the best demonstration that there could be. I'm pretty sure that if any of you guys, that if you use it, it will impact you so much. And I want to give a special thank you to Katie, who isn't here with us today, but I want to give her a shout out that she is the best mentor there is.
Good job, Gabi. Good job. So Gabriela is one of many young people that they grasp that they are in control of their emotions. Before I just finish, I'm gonna ask the president of the board, David, that he complete this presentation. But the last thing that I want to say is that we have a really tough job. This field is not easy. Whatever you do case manager, if you're a counselor, if you're a therapist, mental health exists. And I love the concept now to accept it, only in the awareness. Now we need to accept it and embrace it. And I'm gonna just hold for the concept of DKDK. I'm gonna hold that. It's a lot of things that I don't know that I don't know. What is that, Tavo? I don't know it, but exists, and we can address that. And the only way that we're gonna address that is working together. Working together. Me contact people from different states and you guys contact us, that we can exchange material, that we can change anything that we need to expand our programs. I want to do some of the programs that you do. I want to put that in Phoenix. I want that you guys do some of the programs that we have and you take it to your place. I think that working together, we can really make a difference. Thank you so much. For me, it's been an honor to be in front of you. I hope that you grasp the concept. I have my business card. I'm gonna be around after David finished. If you need to talk to me, I'll be here for your time. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Tavo, hold on. Tavo's a very humble person, and he's not a person who celebrates himself. But what I want to share as a president of the board, this is simple in theory, but it's what do we do with it? And one of the things that Tavo and I have worked on over the last probably 4 years is how do we get out of here? Because we're all doing this work. It's not for the money, although, you know, I'm sure everybody's just has more money they know what to do with. It's not for the fame, because I'm sure that you're treated like rock stars every time you interact with a new client. We do the work for the difference. We do the work because we want to change lives. But all of us are guilty of focusing on the 1%. We're so focused on like, I know how to get an outcome for this person. I know what I need to do. And then it didn't work and we get discouraged because I know what I know. I know this works, but it didn't work for them. They didn't know. But the reality is when we stop focusing here and we stop focusing here and we think about possibilities, it changes everything. So when we have that, and we work a lot with youth and some with families, but when I have that youth and I'm thinking, and this applies even in my own family, I know what they need to do. Why won't they just listen? But it doesn't work that way. I need to think about the possibilities. And I think as an agency, the one thing we've tried to embrace, and I think the one thing Tavo's leadership has done, we're not focused on the barriers that we're putting up in our own heads. We're not focusing on the barriers that the people who give us funding are saying. We're not focusing on what other people did and either found success with or didn't. We're focusing on what's the possibility. And, you know, for me, I feel so honored to be able to be here with Sherry, who's another board member, because the most important thing we do is impact lives. And during this conference, I've been able to hear from the youth that are in our agency, from the people who dedicate their lives as workers who support these youth. That is powerful because it's nothing but possibility. And when I think about some of our mentors and our family support partners, our administrative staff, nobody told them that they couldn't do amazing things and change the lives of kids. No, they didn't get the memo. So they weren't focused on what they know. What do we know? Oh, social work, it's, you know, you're going to be overworked. You're going to be discouraged. It's not a job that's going to fulfill you. And yet we had one of our board members get recognized today because she's devoted her life, even into retirement, to trying to change outcomes for youth. And so I guess that's what I want to leave you with. You know, for me, I get stuck. I'm a business-minded person. I get really, really stuck on what I know. And I have to challenge myself. And thankfully, Tavo's here to challenge me on possibilities. And that's what I want to leave you with.
Thank you very much, sir. All right, we have a few minutes where you can give a greeting, or you can come to me or say hi or say thank you to any of the youth or the staff will reach. So if you part of our staff, Veronica is in the back. She run the entire program. She's the coordinator. If you're a staff member, please stand up. If you are youth in the program, please stand up. Please acknowledge my team. We are gonna leave 10 minutes. Feel free to talk to any of the youth, our mentors or myself. Have a great day. Thank you so much.